Good day, Alphonsus. Today we're going to tackle about the managing marketing information, and at the end of this presentation, you are expected to describe the difference between market information systems and market research systems, identify how critical internal or inside the firm information is collected and used in making marketing decisions, explain essential external outside the firm information collection methods, recognize the value of market research and its role in the marketing, define the market research process, illustrate current research technologies and how they are used in market research. And last is to examine the primary sources of competitive information. And these are the reporters for today's presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the first reporter of Group 2, and we are assigned to report to Chapter 4, which is the Managing Marketing Information. So, making good marketing decisions, the need to know. Information is power speaks to the importance of good information in decision making. So here, the companies require information systems that can gather and analyze large amounts of data and then store it for use at the appropriate time and place. So for example, Apple iPhone. So before gina-introduce ang product, nagkandak pa na sila og test sa mga actual users to ensure that the product met their demands and delivered as promised. They also studied the variety of other challenges, such as ahaman nga market ang nay greatest potential for growth, competitors like research in motion, and long-term technology trends to discover essential technologies for the iPhone today and in the future. So as the iPhone was being created and the marketing plan put together, marketing managers needed this information to make essential decisions. So Market Information System or MIS. So the nature of a market information system. So Market Information System or MIS is an information bank where data relevant to the company's marketing efforts are collected and stored until such time as management needs to withdraw. So Market Information System or MIS is not a software package but a continuing process of identifying, collecting, analyzing, and accumulating and dispensing critical information to marketing decision makers. So generally, kani siya nga mga data is not usually specific to a specific problem or inquiry. Rather, it's crucial data that the marketing decisions maker will require at the right time. It assesses in the management of marketing activities and effective utilization of marketing opportunities as well as the effective defense against marketing threats. It enables the company to modify its products and services to the demands and preferences of its customers. It also gives the company market intelligence. There are three factors that a company needs to consider in creating MIS. So first, we have what information should the system collect. So there is a first factor, the company should consider not only what information is important, but also the source of data in evaluating internal and external information sources. Kay sa kadaghan nga mga information, dapat kabaluta kung unsang dapat i-collect ng mga informations and i-consider. So second, what are the information needs of each decision maker? So if you were the decision maker, dapat makabalo ka kung unsang mga informations imuhang gikinahanglan. So lastly, how does the system maintain the privacy and confidentiality of sensitive information? So in order nga ma-maintain ang privacy and confidentiality sa usa ka company, they maintain relationship and develop trust by limiting access to data to those who have a need to know. So, Here in the exhibit 4.1, makita nato dere on how marketing research is utilized to make marketing decisions in a variety of ways. We have the stages here, or the process within marketing planning and appropriate marketing research. So we have the situation analysis, the selection of our target market, the plan of the marketing mix, which is the product, price, distribution, and promotions. So lastly, we have also the marketing control. So internal sources collecting information inside the company. There is sa internal sources is naa dito mga documents such as operation documents, mga financial documents, management documents, salesperson generated data, and marketing documents. So this data is important for determining if the company's existing plans are effective or if changes should be made. Right here po, makita ang problema sa company which is nag-need of solution sa management. Dire, makita na to ang internal information sources. So, under sa internal information sources, so, kanya kong giingon ganina nga, naadari ang operation documents, financial documents and databases, the marketing plans, management documents, the sales information system, the customer inquiries. So, muna siya under sa internal information sources. Also, the external sources, which is the information gathered from the outside of the company or organization. So, it is more difficult since the data have much greater variety and the sources are more extensive. So, daghan sila dapat nga i-consider. Included diri ang katong demographics, population of interest, ethnic groups, and the geographic changes. There is a demographics defined as the statistical characteristics of human population such as age or income used to identify markets. By this information, mas ma-identify nato ang needs and wants sa atong target customer because it is very useful for businesses to understand how to market to consumers and plan strategically for future consumer demand trends. We have also the population of interest. It is defined as the population or group from which a research tries to draw a conclusions. It is a subset of the general populations that the surveyor wants to know more about. We have also the ethnic groups and the geographic changes. So in geographic changes, the growth of Asian cultures means many must adjust their marketing strategies to fit the unique needs of Asian consumers. Here sa Exhibit 4.3, external forces affect marketing decisions. So, naadi-ari, muna siya dapat na i-consider if naa ka sa external forces. So, muna siya ang mga changes nga dapat i-consider. We have the political or legal environment, the economic conditions, technology transformations, natural world, demographics, and competition. Under sa demographics, we have the population of interest, ethnic groups, and geographic changes. Types of economic challenges. So, we have dito. So, familiar naman kayo ni para sa to as ning duha, which is the microeconomics and macroeconomics. In microeconomics, it refers to the forces that are close to the company and affect its ability to serve its customer. It includes here the company itself. So, naar siya sulod sa company. Marketing intermediaries, customer markets, competitors, and publics. While ang macroeconomics is katulad ni siyang kabuuan sa gawas sa company, which is this is major external and uncontrollable factors that influence an organization's decision-making and affect its performance and strategies. So, dirito na bilong ang katong mga demographics. So, kani siya demographics, technology transformation. So dari ni siya na bilog. So it is important to regularly monitor the macro factors that affect your business and industry to respond to them in a way that is appropriate to your business. So important na ma-aware ta sa problem sa macroeconomics. So, next.
Hello everyone, I am Erica Dayan Di Bandala, the next reporter. So for the continuation of the first reporter, the topic is technology transformation. Few areas in business have been more affected by technology than marketing. Technology has been one of the major catalysts for change in the marketplace. So we all know that technology nowadays has a big impact, especially in the business, even small businesses, because technology allows small businesses to reach new economic markets. So rather than just selling a consumer goods or services in the local market, small businesses can also reach into regional, national, and international markets. So retail websites are the most common way that small businesses use to sell products in several different economic markets. And also technology helps businesses by advertising their products or services to reach new markets and customers. So the next topic is the common economic terms defined. So the first is the Consumer Price Index or the CPI, a measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. So before explaining the CPI, it is important to understand the market basket. So ang market basket is a fixed set of goods and services whose price are used to calculate changes in price year on year. So the consumer price index is measured by analyzing the price of the goods and services in that market basket. And also it is a tool for determining how well the economy as a whole is doing in terms of inflation and deflation. So the next is the gross national product or the GNP. It is an estimate of the total value of all the final products and services turned out in the given period by the means of production owned by a country's resident. So, ang GNP, it is the total value of all the finished goods and services that produced by a country's citizens in a given financial year. So, the next is the inflation. Increase in the overall level of prices over an extended time period. So, I know that we are all familiar of inflation. So, it is the increase of prices over a given period of time or the increase in the cost of living in a country. So next is the interest, the annual earnings that are sacrificed when wealth is invested in a given asset or business. The interest sacrifice is often called the cost of capital. So interest is a borrowed money and it is mostly applied into lending or any borrowing transactions. And also, interest is essentially a charge to the borrower for the use of an asset. So, it includes a cash, consumer goods, vehicles, or any property. So, the next topic is the natural world. Everyone lives on planet Earth, and business operates within the constraints of available natural resources. So, the example of natural resources are land, trees, wind, water, and minerals. So all businesses, both for profit and non-profit, need resources in order to operate. So resources are the inputs used to produce outputs, which is the goods or services. And also, it is called the factors of production. And the next topic is the ethical dimension or the source of the click. About half of all the internet ads are priced based on the number of people viewing in the ads, similar to traditional television marketing. The other model of internet advertising charges by the click. So the critical assumption is the click's legitimacy. It's supposed to represent someone actively seeking information from the advertiser's site. So, we all know na daghan ng business ron ang nag-advertise sa ilang product not only by television but also through website. So if someone views an ad and then chooses to click ad through to the advertiser, the advertiser pays a fee. But there are a critical assumption, which is the click legitimacy or the click fraud. So it serves as ethical because nang deceive ang website which is gibayaran ni business. But katupod na website is nagbayad pud siya og dili legit na mga potential customers. So nangilad siya, and ang mas luoy is si business because nagbayad gud siya for the advertisement, but di ay nag-click ra but di ay ang nag-click is dili mga potential customers. So political legal environment. Political judgment and more broadly, the legal environment significantly affect companies' decisions and sometimes an entire industry. So marketing decisions are strongly affected by developments in the political and legal environment because, of course, our environment is composed of laws and government agency and pressure groups that influence and limit various of organizations and individuals. But sometimes, the laws also create new opportunities for the business. So next is the competition. So one of the most important external environmental factors to consider is the competition. So competition have benefits to business in order for them to have the ability to compete in an open marketplace where they can try to provide goods and services of a higher quality. So without competitions, consumers are paying higher prices and getting worse services than they should do because the markets that matter the most to them are not competitive enough.
Hello, I am the next reporter, Wismon R. Election Jr., and I will be reporting the market research system. So next is marketing research system. Marketing managers are confronted with an unlimited number of problems, opportunities, and issues that require specific answers. Sometimes the information is not available from other sources or even from the company's own market information system. So to get specific answers to important management questions, marketing research is necessary. The importance of market research to managers. So consider the following. You are a marketing manager for Harley Davidson and 90% of your motorcycles are sold to men. You believe women are a great potential target market but have a little selling Harleys to them. What do you do? So this time, you should conduct a market research to solve your problem and collect data on what is the preferred motorcycle for women and why not Harley Davidson. And by the way, what is market research? So market research is the methodical identification, collection, analysis, and data distribution of related to discovering then solving marketing problem or opportunities and enhancing good decision making. So there are 3 steps of having a good marketing research. First is follow well-defined set of activities and does not happen by accident. Rather, it comes as a result of methodical identification, collection, analysis, and distribution of data. Next is enhances the validity of the information. So anyone can Google a topic and came up with a lot of information, but not all results are valid. So that we need to be vigilant in getting ideas or information in Google. However, following the market research process enhances the confidence that the research will discover then solve marketing problem and opportunities with the valid information. Last is impartial and objective. It does not prejudge the information or develop answers to fit an already decided outcome. Rather, it enhances good decision making. So, by following the 3 steps, you can create a good market research. And I believe that research is creating new knowledge. So far for that, the next reporter will discuss the market research process.
Once again, good morning. By the way, I'm Cherelle M. Nguho. The marketing process. First, what is marketing process? Marketing process is a search for understanding. Sometimes, management seeks answer to a particular problems. It is also a series of steps that allow organization to identify customer problems, analyze market opportunities, and create marketing materials to reach the desired audience. Define the research problem. One of the biggest challenges facing a marketing researcher is accurately defining the problem. It is also the preliminary step in conducting a research study. Example, the problem in this community is that has no hospital. So this only lead to a research problem where the need is for a hospital. The objective is to create a hospital. Establish research design. Before conducting any research study, you must address an important question: how to create a research design. The research design depends on the researcher's priorities and choices because every research has different priorities. A well-planned research design helps ensure that your methods match your research aims and that you use the right kind of analysis for your data. There are three basic types of research. Exploratory research is really about discovery. The main intention also of exploratory research is to provide us with details about where a small amount of information can be found. Next, descriptive research aims to accurately and systematically describe a population, situation, or phenomenon. Also, it can answer a questions of what, where, when, and how, then a why question is not. Last, causal research is to determine the relationship between a cause and effect. Example, when a company wants to study the behavior of their consumers toward the changing price of their goods, they use causal research. The following factors help make the determination. First, benefits versus cost. Before making any other decision about the type of marketing research to use, it is essential to assess the benefit versus the cost. Because if the benefits of doing the research do not exceed the cost, don't do the research. Second, time until decision. Decision makers sometimes have very little time between realizing a need for additional information and making the decision. So when time is very short, it is simply not possible to conduct in-depth marketing research. The internet can cut the time needed for a study from months to weeks, but when time is short, researchers may have to rely on more exploratory research and the use of secondary data. Nature of the decision. The more strategic the decision, the more important the information and the greater the need for primary data. Conversely, if the decision is primary tactical, for example, decisions about where to place advertising, secondary data like reviewing a media's demographics and rate card will likely be sufficient to make the decision. Last, availability of data is about timeliness and reliability of access to and use of data. Example, website files which must remain accessible to prevent site downtime and a disruption of service. Types of data, primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the kind of data that is collected directly from the data source. And also, primary data is any original information that you collect for the purpose of answering your research question. Example, interviewing people within your organization and observing a moderated discussion amongst people you choose to collect. Secondary data is the data that is collected through primary source and made available for researchers to use for their own research. And also, secondary data is information that has been collected by other researchers and you are using it. Example, Google Analytics report on your website's traffic. Information you collect from census and electoral statistics. There are two types of data collected, qualitative versus quantitative. Quali means words, images, or objects, while means numbers and statistics. Qualitative also is less structured and can employ methods such as surveys and interviews to collect the data, and also it employs small samples and is not meant to be used for statistical analysis, while quantitative is used to develop a more measured understanding using statistical analysis to assess and quantify the results. There are two types of exploratory research techniques. First, focus group is a small group discussion guided by a trend leader used to learn more about opinions on a designated topic and then guide future action. And also, focus group do provide insights on an issue that are useful to researchers as they develop quantitative research technique, and to provide starting point from which researchers can develop specific questions used in survey instruments. The second technique of exploratory research will be discussed by the next reporter. That will be on. Thank you.
So, good morning everyone. My name is Joby Librino, today's reporter on the marketing research process. So, after Ms. Cheriming reports on the focus group, the next one is in-depth interview. In-depth interview technique is used by researchers because this technique is done with one-on-one interview. So kani siya kay very reliable ang information nga atong makuha diri kay kani is na having a one-on-one interview to that specific individual na gusto nimong makuhaan og information. Kani pod siya kay makatabang pod ni siya to formulate other types of research like survey and observational research. So next is survey. So survey is very common sa ato karon kay because we are fourth year but then having research. So para maka-come up tag mga information, we conduct also survey para sa ato ang research. Then by conducting a survey, makuha na nato kung unsay mga information nga atong gustong makuha to that specific sample group of individual. So next is behavioral data. So it includes information about when, what, and how customer purchase the product. So by looking the behavior of that person, makabalo na ta kung unsa mga product na atong i-offer sa ilaha or unsa ang ilaha mga buying patterns sa ato ang ibaligya sa ilaha or i-render na service. So next is observational data. So observational data is example ana kay kanang naa kay retailing store. Kana bitong ang imong retailing store kay naay different section like grocery and clothing section. On by observing which of the section kung asa maoy mas daghan og kun consumer nga niadto, so diha nimo mahibaw-an kung unsa pay mas ikuan nimo nga mga product para pod ani na specific area. So mechanical observation. So mechanical observation is used device chronicle activity, some forms of meaning that not intrusive on the individual turnstile. So example ani ay kani siya kay very gasto pud kaayo ni siya nga technique kay magamit man ta og mga devices ani to come up some information. Like for example kanang sa highways in Manila na different highways, NLEX, XLEX, and that dili pud ka makaagi kung wala ka atong card nga burag tulpi bitaw isaksak nimo ang card ato katong na mga devices. Isa po to siya sa mga naga-record kung pila ka buok mga nagbalik-balik aning nga area, pila ka buok ni agi aning nga dalan. So that next is sampling plan. Sampling plan, who should be included in the research. So in this topic, so we are selecting lang, i-select lang nato kung kinsang atong i-appel sa atong research. Just for example, in the business fourth year kita business fourth year, then there are different programs like marketing and human resources. Then in that we are selecting kung kinsa ang atong i-appel sa atong research, which is ang marketer ba or ang HR ra ba. Select lang nato diya ang kinsa ang atong ikuan consider na i-appel sa atong research. So next is secondary source. In secondary sources, uh, there are three types of secondary source: government sources, market organization research, and the internet. So in government helps also become a secondary source kay napo diha ang maghatag sila og total population on that local area kanang like for example nang nay mag census. So by having a census makabalo ka kung pila ka buok population na specific area. Market research organization kani pod sila kay maghatak mo ni sila information to that sa to kung unsa may mga specific product na atong ibutang ana na area. So next is internet. So internet is very kuan pod sa to gamit kaayo kay by using search engine we come up some information. So next is collecting the data. Collecting the data, it is involves access, distribution of survey and respondents. So to the respondents. So kani siya kay naga unsaon na to pag kulik sa data by using ba checklist or katong katulong bang daghan og types ang pag-select sa data one on one like katong in-depth interview. So mao to siya para maka-come up ta og information to the respondents na to. So next is analyze the data. So after the collecting the data, dayon si analyzing data. I-analyze na to and that diha na to na makabuhat na ta og conclusion sa ato ang mga data nga nangakulik din makakuan po ta og decision making na dayon kay na-analyze naman nato ang data na atong nakulik. So next is reports and findings. So reports and findings na diha ang discussions. So main points is provide the interpretation of your observation data. So diyan na nato ang ibutang ang atong mga findings. So nindot ani na atong katubitong framework. So insert ipakita lang to namo later. So next reporter.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. I am Riami Pernala, the next reporter. My report is all about market research technology. Market research technology. Market research has benefited from better, more cost-effective technology. The use of powerful software, tools, and online technologies brings research to any level in organization. Market research is the term given to the process of collecting, analyzing, and understanding information about particular market. Technology market research is conducted for a variety of reasons. So, for example, a company that was considering going into business might conduct market research to test the viability of its product or services. What is online research tools? Online research tools fall into three categories. First, database, focus groups, and sampling. Online database is a data stored on server that is accessed remotely over the internet or some telecommunication network. So, some of companies now have databases available to employees, suppliers, even customers to make information on the orders, shipments, pricing, and other relevant information is available to salespeople and customer service personnel who need to access. So, next is online focus groups. Online focus groups, the virtual focus group is becoming a viable alternative to traditional focus groups. So in online focus groups, there are advantage and disadvantage. So first, the advantage is in terms of convenience and cost efficiency. Online focus groups provide data quickly in a format that is usually easier to read and analyze. So the disadvantage of online focus group is that online focus is that participants are limited to those with the access to a computer or workstation. So lastly, online sampling. Online sampling, if someone access to a computer with an internet connection, that person can complete a questionnaire. So online sampling is, as with the focus groups, the primary advantage are convenience and cost efficiency. And also, online sampling has become increasingly popular data collection methodology. And the next is data. Collect the data. It's time to find and engage the respondents to collect data, because data involves access and distribution surveys to the respondent, then recording the respondents' responses and making the data available. So, for example, respondents may not respond to certain questions or fill out the survey incorrectly. So, there is possible that the people collecting the survey may be biased or make a mistake. So, next is analyze the data. Once the data are collected, coded, and verified, the next steps is to analyze the information. The appropriate analysis is performed based on the research questions developed at the beginning of the research. So these findings are assessed the product of the research. So the next is report the findings. The best research projects are only as good as the final report and presentation. So, makita na to siya sa katibol. So, in Exhibit 4.8 online of a research report. So, report modules, preparatory information, methodology, findings, conclusion, appendices, and bibliography. So, as what have you seen in the table right there is that the K of section of the report is the executive summary, as it presents a summation of the analysis and essential findings. And also, we always keep in mind that the managers are not really interested in the number of secondary data sources, questionnaire design, or sampling plan. Rather, they want to see the findings. Next. So, statistical software. So, statistical software, one of the real benefits of a market research technology today, is to put powerful statistical software in the hands of frontline managers. So, statistical software, they have two software packages dominate this top statistical analysis, which is first is SPSS. So it means offers a range of marketing analytical tools. And the last is SAS or SAS. It is the other widely used package, and it offers many of the same features. And also, one of the real advantage of the packages is their ability to take the findings of the data analysis and to create tables and reports. So that's all, and thank you.
So today, let's talk about collecting competitive intelligence. So first, let's define what is competitive intelligence. So, competitive intelligence is a structured and ethical and legal process designed to gather, analyze, and distribute data information relating to current and potential competitors. So, this competitive intelligence is very much helpful for the business because, as we all know, business will always have a competitor. The reason why competitive intelligence uh, will help the business to have the ability to turn basic raw data or the information being gathered to its competitor into actionable intelligence so that the business will stay on track or will have an edge among its competitors. So today, let's talk about the sources of competitive information. We have the company website, the government sources, the business publications, search engines, salespeople, and also the customers. So let's have first the company website. It is the best source for competitive information because most of the companies have press kits available online that include current company news and biographs of senior management. Kay tungod mga diri nila gina-post ang ilahang mga new product innovation, mga detailed explanation of existing products, kung nabay changes sa ilang personnel, as well as kung unsay mga activities or mga programs ang gina-offer sa ilahang company. Kasagara jud makita nato sa mga company website. So when conducting a competitive analysis, no, dapat we will visit a company website first. Now let's move forward to the government sources. No, so government sites provides helpful information in competitor analysis. Kay kani mga government sites mangod, no, kay mga reliable sources mangod siya nga naghatag pod og mga um, reliable nga mga information nga very helpful when conducting a competitor analysis. So for example, the Securities and Exchange Commission and United States Trademark of Patent Office provides data about patent application and also an excellent source of information about competitors' new product development. So for example, ang ato ang competitor nag-apply siya og kanang patent, no, or kanang para na share rights o sa ka product or service baka ha. So dito pa lang, no, kanang maghatag na og information si ang kaning government sources. So very helpful siya ni mo nato kay makabaluta kung unsay kanang new product sa atong competitor or unsa ilang mga gina-offer nga new. So kato siya makabaluta kung unsa ilang dito makahimo din tag kanang action or unsa ato ang possible move nga para makakompete pud ta nila sa katong mga product nga new nga gi-offer nila. Next, we have the business publications. It features articles on every issue and industry trends, as well as analysis of individual companies. So these business publications provides detailed information on thousands of companies, much of it with less cost or no cost at all. So when conducting a competitor analysis, this business publication is very much helpful for the business because it will give the business the opportunity to stay ahead with unique insights and in-depth analysis on the people, company, events, and trends that shape today's economy. So the business will know what should be the best move to nga iyahang buhaton to compete in the world of business. So we also have the search engines. Popular search engines tap an unlimited supply of information because in just one click no daghang kitang mag-gather nga information sa usa ka website or any search engines nga ato ang gina-visit. But the problem is dapat when we conduct a competitor analysis, dapat we must have also a critical thinking no para i-evaluate kung katong mga nag-gather nato nga information is reliable ba or dili para dili pud sayang ang atuang effort or our time baka. So sorting out reliable information is through fee-based search engines such as ProQuest and Lixes and Nixes. So it is much better no nga mo go through ta dito sa mga naay bayad nga mga search engines kaysa kanang katong mga wala pero dili reliable ang sources kay kung kaning mga fee-based search engines man gud maka-ensure ta nga katong mga information nga ilang mga ginahatag is reliable og magamit nato. So we must have so dapat natay critical thinking. So dapat kabalo ta kung unsay reliable or dili. So now let's move forward for the next sources, the salespeople. So in a business-to-business environment, salespeople are frequently the most important link between the company and external marketing information. Kaya nga naman, kay di ba si salespeople manggod ang kanang kasaga mo atubang sa customer. So katong mga nag-gather niya nga information kang customer no, mahatag niya ay pwede niya mahatag sa company nga iyang gi-work. So nindot po ni siya nga source kani si salespeople. Their access to customers and supplier is a vital source of competitor information. But kanang however, formal systems of collecting data from salespeople frequently do not exist. Kaya nga naman, kay most of the time man good, where kung naay mga information nga na-collect si salespeople, dili siya available para sa tanan. So para na ang katong si salespeople kanang ang information niya kasagara didto ra jud niya ihatag sa iyang company or business nga iyang gitrabuhan, dili siya made for everyone bitaw. So mao to siya. So the last one are the customers. Underutilized source of competitor information in which company can simply ask specific and relevant questions. So kaning mga customers are a great source of information when conducting a competitor analysis. Kaya nga naman, kay si business or si company can easily gather information for competitive analysis man by just simply asking customers about their shopping habits, where they purchase their products, or which business or unsa nga mga tindahan ang naga-offer og mga lowest price. So for example, si Alvin Antegua, usa siya ka ay na siya business no, then nag-conduct siya og competitor analysis. So ang customer is si Banal. So nangutana siya ni Banal kung unsa iyang mga product kasagara nga paliton or unsa nga mga business nga kana or mga tindahan baka nga nag-offer og mga lowest price. So mutubag si Banal og kani siya nga business nag-offer. So kung dito magbase na din si Alvin Antigua kung kato nag-offer og lowest price. So possible nga iyahapong business iyahapong iubos ang iyahang price no, or i-equal ba kaniya to or paubsen pa to niya nga aron ang mga customers kanang mo kuan pud sa iya mo something mo divert sa iya habito kay nag-offer man siya og lowest price sub. So kanang mo to siya. Thank you.